Hey everybody, welcome to Dad's Den of Pop Culture and Justice League Monday. And today we're looking at Justice League We're looking at Justice League America, number 26. And the reason we're looking at Justice League America and not Justice League International is because this came out basically the same time. Justice League Europe, number 1. We're going to take a quick look at this issue in a moment. But first, we're going to look at the Justice League America comic from Giffen and DeMatteis, art by Ty Templeton and Rubenstein. And apparently, the Huntress is trying to murder Blue Beetle for no reason. Why would she do that? Why would she do that? Well, let's find out why and find out exactly what is going on. So, in a story called Slice and Dice, or There's Something Very Wrong with the Blue Beetle, we join Guy Gardner reading some kind of magazine. In fact, what does it say? I'm actually using this so I can read it. I think it says Man's World. Yeah. Man's World. And since it's Guy Gardner, we could assume it might in fact be a dirty magazine. Other credits here, by the way: Bob Lappin, letters, Gene D'Angelo, envelopes. That's what it says. Kevin Dooley, stamps, and the Man Helfer, editor. Okay. So he's reading a magazine, and the phone is ringing, and he's annoyed by it, and he smashes it with a green fist out of his power ring, at which point Oberon shows up right in the corner there. I had my hand over them. There's little Oberon. Says, "Did you hear the phone ringing?" "I didn't hear the phone ringing." "Oh, of course you didn't." Yeah, seeing the wreckage. So he decides to go ball out Blue Beetle, who's on monitor duty and should be answering the phone, and he finds him sleeping. And so, of course, Blue Beetle tries to joke his way out of it, and Oberon is pretty darn PO'd. You're supposed to be on monitor duty. You're supposed to be fielding all incoming calls. You're supposed to have half a brain in your head. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you seem to be angry with me about something. Figure it out, Buster, and you'd better figure it out fast, or you're going to find yourself a member of the Outsiders. But the Outsiders split up months ago. Now you've got it. So Oberon is taking charge, which, let's be honest, Maxwell Lord certainly doesn't take charge. Well, Blue Beetle's a little annoyed, and he soon falls back asleep, and the phone starts ringing. "Oh, okay, get the phone. All right, already." So he answers the phone. "Hello, Justice League International. Aliens in your backyard? Supervillains in your bank vault? We're just the folks to handle your problems. Operators standing by to..." "What? Blue Beetle? That's me." Okay. So he gets an interesting little phone call. Meanwhile, a new fridge is being delivered because the last one was destroyed. We saw that when the alien Kunds kind of, sort of materialized in their kitchen, and there was a huge superhero fight. I believe Power Girl threw the refrigerator at them. And who wanders in but Blue Beetle? Now, wait a minute, Max. Hey, you, Beetle. What's your problem? Didn't you hear a word I said? You're supposed to be on monitor duty. Then what the heck are you doing in here? Just looking for something. And what do you know? Here it is. Oh my God, he's got a knife. Wow, 4 million year old vibrating crystal for free. I mean, if you think about it, every rock that you see outside is, I won't say every, but most of them are probably millions of years old to one degree or another. So, we hear a smash. We see the refrigerator delivery guy running away. Guy Gardner investigates only to basically have Oberon thrown at him, and he discovers, he's been stabbed. So there's a lot of noise. Fire comes downstairs. "Could you boys keep it down? I'm still sick, and I'd like to. I don't care if you've got the bubonic plague. Just get your pretty butt down here right now. We've got trouble." And so she's looking after Oberon for just a moment. he's trying to figure out what's going on. Somebody's run out the door, and then he hears a scream. Now what? Flame, what are you? Oh my God. So what is going on here? All sorts of crazy stuff is happening. And we're not going to find out too much about that until a later issue, just so you know. Just so you're not too disappointed in this one. Well, what we see is Maxwell Lord running down the street. He is bleeding. Seems like he's bleeding pretty good, too. And the Blue Beetle is coming after him. You can't run from me, Max. You can't hide from the Blue Beetle. Terrific. Oh, and what do we have there? A jug of milk for $1.39. Pretty good price. Hey, that's in New York, too. Probably would be cheaper than that in Vegas. People sometimes take me for granted because I'm such a joker, but I'm very good at what I do, Max. I'm fast, I'm agile, I'm strong, and I'm going to kill you. Huh? Who? So he suddenly turns. Max runs away, and that was Max using that little power he has to sort of affect people's minds, but it doesn't last long. And here comes Blue Beetle right after him. By the way, Ty Templeton, really nice art. As usual, in fact, we're about to meet her. Boy, he does a stunning version of the Huntress. So he has him cornered, and just at that moment, before he can stab, hand reaches out, grabs the knife, and tosses Blue Beetle. And it is the Huntress. Absolutely awesome. So Huntress gets in the way to stop him. And she's kind of like, wait a minute, you're no villain. You're the Blue Beetle. You're one of the good guys. What's going on here? Something happened to him, his mind. Maxwell Lord, you had me at a disadvantage, but whoever you are, you've got to stop. And he starts attacking again. And so you get a nice little brouhaha between Huntress and Blue Beetle. We see her slugging him in the stomach. He had grabbed her crossbow. She's like, that bow is mine. No one touches it. Do you hear? That hurt you, little. The name is Huntress. The crossbow flies away, bonks on a barrel of some kind, releases its bolt. Yeah, come on. I'm a D&D guy. I know it's a bolt, not an arrow. And it gets him. It sort of takes him out, or she kind of finishes him off. So she's obviously quite confused here. And she goes to check on Max. And she hears back away from him, slowly. Who? Look at that. Just, come on. Look at that. Such nice work. Honestly. Really amazing stuff. Well, who indeed? It's our old buddy, the Batman. Uh-oh. Yeah, uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. So Batman assumes that she is responsible for both the injuries to Blue Beetle and Maxwell Lord, and he kind of takes her down after, I think she gets one shot in on him. Maybe that's on the next page. Really nice work, though. Look at that. And good dynamic action. And of course, this is post-crisis and pre-crisis. That was Batman's daughter, which are some good stories, by the way. I'm still kind of bummed that they had to change all that. But it's okay, there she is. She gets a good hit on him. He grabs her, but while he's doing that, Blue Beetle starts to wake up. Again, really nice work. But here's what's important. It's what Blue Beetle is saying here. He says, well, I was going to try to make it a little bigger. Then when I do that, I can't read it because of my bifocals. So, got to get up. Got to do what she wants me to do. Please the Queen. Queen and country. The Queen. Well, who on earth could he be talking about? Well, if you've been following along or if you've read the series, you know exactly who. So he's up. Kill Maxwell Lord. Did he just say, that's what I've been trying to tell you? Damn, Beetle, stop. So Batman finishes off the Blue Beetle. We get, this is old school. On my Twitter, every so often, I will post image of Batman, sometimes Robin, punching somebody this way, so that the criminal's head flying back or their face turning. This is a panel that goes back to the golden age of comics, and it's done very well here. So he wants to, of course, he stops him, wants to have a few words with our mystery woman. And she's gone. Superman Unchained. And this is kind of a funny panel here when he says, she's gone. Now I know how Jim Gordon feels. I know, I'm trying to get it. There we go. That's about right. Okay, so he's taken him out. He stopped him. Guy Gardner shows up, has Guy Gardner rush Maxwell Lord to the hospital, which he does. Prologue. What did I tell you, Max? You're good as new, or at least I will be soon. What about the woman? She had nothing to do with it. Beetle just went berserk, and she happened along. Good thing, too. I get the feeling I was Beetle's #1 target. How's Oberon doing, John? Very well, all things considered. It was a nasty cut. Scott's been at his bedside the whole time. He'll keep us informed of Oberon's progress, which leaves us free to concentrate on our primary problem, Beetle. And let's not forget the little incident with fire that kept Guy occupied. Connected? Unlikely, but you never know. All we can do right now is wait for Beetle to come to. And I don't think we're going to like what we find out when he does. Not one bit. Next, brain drain. Okay, so well, I won't stay all that. Oh, ooh. Advanced Dungeons & Dragons, 2nd edition. That was a big deal at the time. One of my longest campaigns was in 2nd edition Advanced D&D. So he's talking about the Queen, and if you've been following along, you know that probably is the Queen Bee, who is now the ruler of Bealia. Like I said before, she's going to be appearing quite often in the Justice League series. Not just Justice League America, but we're also going to get a lot of her in Justice League Europe. So let's take a quick look at their first issue. Now, you notice right off the bat, this is sort of a play on the first issue of Justice League. Wasn't international yet, just Justice League, and we see it actually down here, that Metamorpho is holding it. So, oh, by the way, story by Giffen and DeMatteis, art by Sears and Marcos. Not Sears and Roebuck. Different people. So, Justice League Europe is set, or at least their headquarters is in Paris. This is going to be a disaster. That sounds like the Justice League talking. Now, the Justice League Europe chapter is under the command of Captain Atom. And so, of course, he's worrying about everything. He's worrying about being in charge. We have with him the person in charge of the Paris embassy, Catherine Colbert, who Bart Sears did some really, really fine work on, I must say. I remember at first I was like, I didn't know how much I liked Bart Sears' artwork early on. And but it really, after a little while, because it was a little bit different style-wise, a little heavy on the lines, on faces, man, it really grew on me. And he was so good at action and stuff like that. He was also probably the perfect person to draw Captain Atom, the shiny kind of metal body. So what we're going to get early on here are the different Leaguers showing up. We have Elongated Man and his wife, Sue Dibney, who's going to play a big part in this. We have Power Girl soaring over Paris. You know, she's very excited to be in the League. This is going to be such an honor. She might change her mind at some point. We have the Flash. This is Wally West, who is also, checking out Power Girl. She's realizing, oh yeah, this isn't Barry Allen. We have Rocket Red and Animal Man who show up. They actually fly in, and Rocket Red is kind of having fun with them. You can see he's just this big, bear of a man, patting him on the back there. I will say this version of Rocket Red did become one of my favorite characters in Justice League. And just a fun character. I really enjoyed him. So now it comes down to having their first meeting. Again, just look at this. Look at this artwork down here on her. That face. Really, really excellent stuff. So here's their first meeting. Well, I'd like to formally welcome you all here. Glad you could make it. I hope you had a good trip over. I'm very proud to be chairman of this team. I think you know what an honor it is to be accepted into the Justice League. So that means that it's a double honor to be chairman. So I guess I'm doubly honored to be here, and I'd like to formally welcome you. And I'm glad you could make it, and I hope you had a good trip over. Did I say that already? Yes. Okay. You don't have to yell. So, you know, it's kind of a big move here for Captain Atom, and he's not entirely feeling up to it. So again, we get a little bit more about like Animal Man. I know his luggage ends up getting lost, but it kind of comes to a big head here. They don't spend too much time with the preliminaries. When a dead body shows up on their front door, clearly has been murdered. There's a dead man in our front hall, extremely dead. Apparently he was trying to reach us, but he kicked off along the way. Your compassion is overwhelming, Flash. Who is he? Well, of course, nobody knows who he is. And just at that moment, Wonder Woman shows up. She's going to be in Justice League Europe, but only for about 5 seconds. So don't get too used to Wonder Woman being there. Honestly, they do trim a couple people off relatively early on in the book, and I don't think it hurt it. I think a slightly smaller cast gives you more time to spend on the characters. So, of course, Ralph Dibny, he smells a mystery, so his nose is twitching. You know, that's really disgusting. Sue thinks it's cute. He wants to investigate. Now, the police are there. Captain Atom is dealing with it. He's going to let the police investigate, and Ralph doesn't. Not like the idea behind that. Okay, we see this person in the shadows. They're all in there. It's time for phase 2. This Justice League Europe will never get off the ground. Who could that be? Well, we're not going to find out in this issue, so don't get too excited. So, next day, a bunch of people riot out in front. They want to kill the Justice League. Now, these are just normal Parisians, and they're not real happy with the League being there, and they're calling them Nazi pigs. And they're like, what? So they storm the embassy, and they're having to now fight these people without obviously trying to hurt them, because they're just unpowered, normal human beings. I like that. Oh, yeah, big fists reaching out. But you notice the coloring? Something you got in older comics that over time you got a lot less of, but sort of unrealistic color schemes to separate foreground from background on things. You get a little bit of that there. So Power Girl grabbing people, pulling them out of there. You get a bunch of that. There's Rocket Red. I love that. That's a great shot of him looming over these people. So a lot of fighting, a lot of struggling, and then all of a sudden, what am I doing here? Who are you? Of course, he's speaking in French. All these people just stop. And he's like, oh, Captain Atom. Oh, God, think of the repair bills. Max is going to have a fit. This isn't going the way I'd planned. From Power Girl, though, mind control, Captain. I wonder if the Lords of Chaos had anything to do with this. Now, we just saw some mind control in Justice League America. Could they be linked? Well, they could. Now, here we get an introduction of a side character we're going to see a bit of, and that is Inspector Camus. French, I mean, I guess he's maybe from like the Sûreté or whatever, the National Police. Could just be Peru. Maybe he's just from Paris's police force. I honestly don't know how things are organized over there, so I won't pretend I do. But so he's not happy about all this, and they're going, well, it wasn't our fault. We didn't invite these people to riot. He says, I did not start this little riot, and I did not drop that dead Nazi on your doorstep. Nazi? We are not very fond of Nazis in France, Captain. You see, we've experienced them firsthand. Yeah. So did the United States. In fact, we were liberating France at the time. Anyways, so Ralph is like, I told you we should have done this ourselves. Shut up. He is not happy. And by the way, this is fantastic. Bart Sears, man. I don't know why I doubted him for that few moments when I first opened the book, but boy, did I become a fan. So he's had about enough. He gets on the horn to Oberon. You need to look this stuff up, blah, 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 blah. Oberon kind of trying to be funny at first, and Captain Atom ain't having any of it. And so finally, the problem is somebody's playing games with us, very ugly games, and I intend to find out who and why. Next, global split. Okay, so in future, I'm not going to be going big time through each issue of Justice League Europe, but I will sort of keep you updated on what they're doing. And oftentimes they would cross over with Justice League America, so a story would be continued from one to the other. In those cases, I'll be hitting both. I don't want these videos to get, super, super long. So that's why I'm keeping this one relatively brief. But it is pretty amazing that after really just 2 years of Justice League International, Justice League America, he was already getting a spinoff. I mean, the original Justice League of America, it didn't get a spinoff, really. So obviously, they really hit a chord with readers at DC with this comic book. A little bit of humor, some action, maybe a little bit more character work than you were getting, say, in the old Justice League. Who these people are, what makes them tick, that kind of a thing. Really paid off. So we got not only Justice League Europe, we'd get a lot of Justice League annuals, and we'd get Justice League Quarterly at a certain point too. Okay, that'll do it for this particular video. Justice League America number 26, Justice League Europe number 1. Let me know what you think of them in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like. Maybe think of subscribing, maybe share with a friend. We're doing Justice League every Monday this year, issue by issue. So until next time, God bless everybody. Please be kind to one another. Have a little bit of fun out there, and I will see you hopefully again soon in Dad's Den of Pop Culture. Bye-bye.